Hello and welcome back to Cynthia's Conversations. On today's topic, we'll be talking about why a lot of ethnic minority don't like adoption or IVF. And let me introduce my panel. On my right, I have Amaka.
Hiya.
And then on my first left, I have, welcome back, Yvonne. She's been away for a few months.
Yes, hi, I'm back.
And then my far left, I have a male guest today, and is Amaechi, all the way from Nigeria.
Whoa.
Welcome to my podcast. So, guys, this topic is something that lately has been, coming up on the social media. Because it seems to be, even people married, like years of marrying, the idea of having an IVF or an adoption is just not option in the family. Is it because the male doesn't accept it or the family of the man doesn't accept it? So I would like to debate this widely. So Yvonne, I'll come to you first. What do you think the problem is with ethnic minority? It's not just the Africans themselves. I think it's just the ethnic minority.
That's
really,
true.
yeah. Because with the white society, it's not something to be ashamed of if you go for IVF or an adoption because you can't have children. But I think with us, is so.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, with the Western culture, it's an option. It's a medical option that you can choose should everything else fail. But with the ethnic minority, I think for me the number one point in terms of IVF and adoption is fear. It's fear, and fear, you can put it, it's a big bucket. It's fear of the unknown, fear of what they don't know. I'm not sure that the awareness of the possibilities of what adoption and IVF will give to you have been made clear to people, like in the way they understand it. Don't forget that culture is a huge factor. Most ethnic minorities are still enclosed and cocooned in their cultural differences and norms and beliefs, and then you bring this foreign thing. First and foremost, it's fear. Two, it's not known to them, so it's a case of our fathers don't do this, we don't do that,
We forbid,
we forbid this, and then some people even try and justify why they shouldn't even do it without even giving it a try. And then, like I said, education, because if we are properly educated, it's not the one of putting campaign and flyer IVF and you're shoving it. There's communication and there's communication. If it's communicated down to the level that they understand that, look, this is basically just helping you to move to this way, I think it would
make legitimize the child. Would that child
I don't agree with that, because even this thing is more common amongst the educated ones who know a lot about IVF. It's not the fact that they don't know. To them, I think it's more of a pride thing. Because even those that do the IVF...
The question I asked is it that the family
not
accept the child to be legitimate, or it's just the man don't want people to
It's not necessarily just the man, because it's both. You can't put all this thing on the back. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You have to go back. History. Let's go back, because a lot of minority groups are tied to religion, and minority groups go hand in hand. So if you now go back with your religious teachings of the man bears a child, there's always this man bearing a child for this woman and this man bearing... The stories of somebody adopting were really not in the Bible. And now that has translated down from that religious point, it has gone down to our culture, and now it's not anything of pride. It's your inheritance. This is the fruit of
my The thing is, talking about religion,
it's like the same thing like property. This is my property. This is my child. If you adopt, how would you say this is my child when you didn't actually produce?
Actually, talking about that, okay, now there are two things you brought up. Religion. The Catholic Church actually is against IVF. So this has got nothing to... So you talk about religion, and obviously we, I think, marriage, we always carry religion on our head. Anyway, that's one. Secondly, this one about adoption, or not having a child. I know in a tradition, they bring children from outside. You know that, yes, if a man dies without having a male child, right, they will bring a woman that has a child so that they will not lose. Do you understand? So,
no, wait, when you say they will bring a woman, no, they will bring a woman, if possible, for him to impregnate.
No. They are bring a child from where? The woman already has a child. I'm saying, no, this is
bring a child that is not his to claim his inheritance.
They will marry that.
He rather give it to his brother, the next in line.
No.
I think
yes, they do that. But they also bring a woman that has a young child, and so that the shame will not be on the family.
No. Would they say? Okay, let me ask you a question. Would they say the child is the man's own?
Yes.
But you see, we've missed the point. That one is not an adoption or IVF, right? So because to them they are trying to keep the man name going. So but this particular topic is based on why we ethnic minority have a problem,
which is
how
exactly.
You know, to do the IVF.
Education.
No. I'll come back to education. You made a comment there that you even know educated people. There are people that go to school. They go through school, and school go through them. What do you classify as educated people? Do you get what I mean? There are people who are educated, but for them culture is foremost. That has nothing to do with the education.
Yeah.
They can be educated, go to the best schools, Harvard, name it, but when they come home, it's a different story. So it's about how you embrace your culture and how you want to carry it.
I'll agree with her on that, because let's take the issue of let's digress a bit and take the issue of wills. Bring up the topic of write a will to a man, educated or uneducated. He will say, "Oh,
you want me to come to kill me?
Kill me." Educated or uneducated.
I agree on that.
Bring up, it's only a few, 1% or less, who are open-minded to. Okay, yes, I understand what the will is. Yes, it's a fantastic idea. Based on because of things that they've seen happen in the past. So if you take it back to the whole adoption thing, just a few, and let's say it's the new generation who they've seen it happen. Thanks to,
but they still hide it.
Wait, thanks to the media.
Yeah.
They are now seeing it happen. They are seeing the possibilities of having children, having
child.
But that is just okay. How they call those generations, Z generation, the new generation that are accepting it.
Yeah.
Let me.
But the thing is, they still hide it. The problem we have is that they still hide it.
Yeah, but
that's the stigma. That's what we are saying.
There's a stigma there.
That's the stigma. And even just to add to that before you move, that generation, the new generation, you do know that they have the family behind them. So even with all the media and technology, you still have that added pressure from behind.
The culture aspect.
Because the culture our
aspect.
issue, let me tell you, in a nutshell, the culture just envelopes this whole topic. It's culture. And culture and religion are intertwined. Okay? Now you talked about the point you're making about we're talking about different imagine now we're talking about a whole generation of people with different cultures. So your culture will say something, your own culture will say something. So we all have different cultures that are giving different
because I've seen
some are more accepting
people
than
that
others.
have said they've been married for like 30 years, because and the blame game in our ethnic minority is always the woman's fault first. The man family will never accept that is their brother, their uncle that has the problem. It's usually the woman, even though the woman is completely fertile and whatever. But I'm saying, why can't we, at least we say the Z generation, our generation, or our children, generation? You see all these people who don't pass half a century.
Okay, I'll give you, this is a personal story. I used to work as a lab technician. So this is personal because I used to do sperm count tests and for fertility. And I know couples that have come to the lab and you see the man looking so,
well kept.
Well kept, and the woman is looking haggard beyond
Because
her
she's
age.
tired.
She can't even utter a word. Everything is yes, because she's exhausted. She's just gone to that point where
Let's do it and get
whatever
on.
you say, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Just get on with it. Let's go on with life. And I remember this particular couple. This woman, I took her in and I took her sample and I checked and we took the guy's sperm and everything. She was fine. There was absolutely nothing wrong with her. But with the man, literally, I just put my eyes on the microscope. It was like a piece of paper.
Nothing.
No movement, nothing. There was no life. You know the word life? There was no life. When I called the woman and the couple and I told them, the woman tapped me and said, can she see me inside? We went inside. This woman didn't say anything to me. All she did was she held me and she cried the cry of 1,000 dead. You know that kind of when somebody holds you and all she did was, there was no need for words.
Yeah.
I just held her and let this woman sob on my chest.
Oh.
And I said to her, it will be well. When your husband gets some hormonal injections and put them through a treatment plant and everything, and like a year later she was pregnant.
Yeah, but she was lucky because he actually agreed to go with her.
But
A lot of times they don't even agree.
No, but that took.
The man was saying no. I have friends that my husband has said no.
No, but that took.
It's not going.
So
No,
then
this man
later-
refused. It took years before they even got.
I said he followed her to come and do the test. I said this is my friend because I know someone that I introduced them to the IVF clinic. Very educated. They've traveled. It's not as if, do you understand how they do it?
yeah.
She went to the doctor said, I cannot do this test. You have to bring. The husband refused, at least you're lucky. He refused to even go. They've been married 27 years.
Still no child.
I said the man has refused
By
to go.
now they
No,
will
there's
have-
nothing wrong with the girl. He said, you need. He has, today he will send her to America to go and do tests.
Yeah.
He will send her to. He's refused.
No, but I see that's the point I'm making.
And it's so sad.
It's the cultural thing because this man I'm
just
talking
sad.
about, he's an educated man. He's a well-placed man. It's not as if money was the object. It's just that thing that the culture where he is and his people just put him on that platform where you're the man of the house. How dare it be your fault? And that's our cultural
And
thing.
it's even sad.
How dare you be your fault?
And
Okay, let's move. Now this was in Port Harcourt. When I now was living in Warri, my neighbor, this was like the general manager of one of these top oil companies. He has all the money. When they couldn't, what did the wife do? They secretly came over to London and got a surrogate.
Yeah, that's.
And then the thing is, but my problem
but you
is.
see, say it for yourself. Now, they were in the position to announce.
They never do.
No, hang on. They were in a position to announce. But again, because of the society they find themselves, they just selected a few to tell. They did not tell the rest of the world.
Yeah, but this is where
You understand?
where the problem is.
Let me tell you where
that's
the
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 problem.
problem is the society.
It's a society.
Of the ethnic minority.
Yeah.
Of this shame.
It's
This
called
shame
pride.
thing. This shame thing of,
It's pride.
oh, they are
that
not
child is not daft.
Yes.
that
That's
child,
the child.
or see what they did.
They had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a norm.
Yes.
When you do something that, okay, let me not say it's a crime.
Yeah. You know.
But then when you have an issue and you decide to go outside the box
Yeah.
to do it, they now you
So, you know-
become an outcast.
You become
But you know
an-
that's how talking about this because, like you said, because I suppose because it's relatively new. Because I remember those days having a cesarean section was a taboo. My wife was not born with operation.
A lot of women have died in the process.
Yes,
the
because-
man,
yes.
the woman will say no,
No,
I can do
that
that,
mean- yeah.
and then she would die in
They will,
that
because it's not a how can you say I born operation? That means I'm not a woman to have born. Do you understand? So now they know that well. So
This option is actually safer
yes,
for her.
and then, but people actually talk about it now. But lots of people till today, even our stars, will have surrogates. They will hide it
because they don't.
They will do IVF. No, but the thing is, how are you going to educate people? How are you going to help the lesser people? If because you know about surrogacy or IVF and you can afford to do it, right? And you're doing it in secret, how are you going to help the less privileged. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So
The
it has
younger
to
girls
start.
to come up.
Yeah, because they don't know anything about it.
And that's why it comes down to the education I'm talking about.
The Western world has moved from that point.
Points.
Yeah, so we're just catching
They
up.
moved from that point of there's nothing wrong
At all.
in doing certain things
Yes.
to get your life together.
Yes,
to better
now.
yourself.
Yeah, it's your
We-
family.
We are still stuck in that.
I want to use the word. I want to use the
You want
word.
to adopt, it's a problem.
Yeah.
IVF is a problem. Let's go to even HIV.
Eh.
It's a problem.
No, but it's this process. But I mean, they're getting
Well,
there
it's a
slowly,
process,
but it's hard.
That's why I said
Because-
it's just a few.
Yeah.
The percentage are not. If you check them up, that have done IVF.
First of all, you can't
How many
afford
of
it.
them? No.
Afford it.
Even the ones that can afford it. What is the number?
Man, a lot of them have done it and they're not telling you.
No.
More of them have done it than you know.
Even if you count,
They will not be having
no,
it.
the number.
The number of people that
Is-
have done it
isn't
is
as
still
much
very
as-
little.
In fact, for IVF, but not for adoption, because adoption is still
Oh, they're adopting a lot more adopting now.
more adoptions are taking place as against IVF.
Back in.
Oh yes, Nigeria, oh yes.
Yes.
But the problem with adoption, and I don't blame them back home, a lot of this, I was telling Cynthia, a lot of these motherless babies homes or orphanages don't like giving their children adoption because, one, because a lot of them, they treat the children badly, so it's very difficult to adopt.
Yes.
Now, they've opened a lot more IVF clinics in Nigeria. A lot of people are going down the route of IVF than adoption actually because it's easier to do IVF because at least once you have your money, you do it. But with adoption, they frown on it a lot because a lot of these homes, even me, I will not do, they still don't know how to treat a child.
That they don't biologically carry.
No, I think
And the family will treat those
I
child
don't
who
think-
worse than IVF.
No,
Yes.
I don't think it's about how to treat a child. Like I said, I'm going back to my point, which is fear. This is not my bloodline. What is this person going to bring? Because I remember way back during my mom's time, there were women that adopted children, even children from Niger, Republic, and that used to happen a lot when I was growing up.
I never.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah,
I had aunties that adopted children. They are still their children today. That was, you can imagine, when I was young. But the issue with the adoption is, okay, I'll raise this child. This child will grow. Then the child decides, oh, you're not my bloodline, and decide to do their own thing.
That happens everywhere in the world.
No, that happens everywhere. But like with us, it will now be magnify the glass, because that also happens in the Western world.
It's not just.
And then if they have cousins and everything, they're like, there's that constant reminder that yes, you're my sister, but you're not my bloodline.
It's not just about that.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's like you said. What is this person carrying?
Carrying.
DNA wise.
Again, sickness was a problem. Health,
I don't know
yes.
the father.
The father
I don't know
and
the
then the
mother.
mother.
I don't know what combination of. I don't mean in bad way. I don't know combination of issues they could have.
Yeah, it's true.
And then,
Trauma.
Yes, trauma, psychological, whatever it is.
yeah.
You don't know what baggage you're bringing in,
In.
and then the child grows up and then becomes a deviant.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
And it's your name.
And it's your name.
It's stake, at stake.
I'm putting my name against something I
That
really
you're
don't
not-
know.
I think
Exactly.
this topic is absolutely eye-opener. I would really want to discuss it even further to find out why. Because even here in the UK, there's so many ethnic minority children in the
care.
system,
Yeah.
but they never get to
Nobody's
go adopting them. I'm just gonna say to a lot of people, if I'm just saying, if I have the opportunity, I know the process is not easy because I've seen people who have gone through the process and after a while they just said, you know what, I don't want to do
They want to let
this
them
because
hear
they
as well.
work. But on the other side, it's actually right for them to vet the
Who wants,
people
yes.
who wants to take these children because they want to make sure that you're not taking the child away from that system
To
and
do
bring it
something
to
else
where
with
they were taking the child off in the first
First
place.
place.
So that's why. But I just think that if there are people out there who can have their own children for any certain reason, there is nothing wrong in adopting another child. And all these children want is just love and care.
But then again, I'll play the devil. It's easier said than done because a lot of I can't imagine not having had. I can say and discuss. There's nothing wrong in adoption. There's nothing wrong in trying IVF. because I have my own children. You know, I can't imagine what, be it culture or what is going on in that person's mind that doesn't have a child. It must be a hard decision. It must be whether cultural or not. Just like I can't begin to imagine, because I know friends that have tried IVF, and sometimes I've said, why don't you adopt? But you see, it breaks my heart, because why should they? Do you understand? So it's a difficult one, because it is tough.
I
It is a difficult one.
I think if you're in that situation, you don't have a child, you've tried IVF, you've tried everything. As a mother, you know, when your maternal instinct's kicking, I want to be a mother.
It really doesn't matter.
At that point in time, it's not about
whether
if the option is there and it's easy, they will go that place. Because I know there are people that have said, okay, let me do it. But then,
because you just the word when your maternal instinct
is kicking.
But let's put it this way:
It's easier said
when
than
you're
done,
born,
sure.
you're born, and then you're brought into a system that expects that you should come out and procreate a child.
Yeah.
So you have been programmed from the onset that you are supposed to create.
And it's
So
just
now-
not the third world as well.
So once you're
It's
that,
hard.
it's not just the exact, not just the third world.
It's
Once you're
hard.
in that system, you would likely want to
Yeah.
have your own.
Your own.
Yeah, but what we're
if you come to
saying,
the
if
system,
all that fails, if all that fails,
yes, they
and then
Well,
they
like I said, it's easier said than done. Yes, if all that, then it's not that they don't know. Okay, let's talk about the educated ones that have the options, that are even the ethnic minorities that are even here that know that there's adoption available. I'm not saying. Is it? How do you? They must.
Okay,
Sit. It is a tough.
It
is tough. It is really.
But
I can't imagine, because a lot of people that I'll tell you, my friends that went through adoption, they also had to have counselling to take them through that process of adoption. It is. Do you understand? It is such a tough.
Anyway,
I can't imagine.
This is one
what-
of those topics I think we're probably going to revisit in the near future. So Yvonne, in 30 seconds. You know I love my 30 seconds.
Yes, I know.
In my 30 seconds.
In your 30 seconds.
Yeah, my 30 seconds. I always talk my 30 seconds. I didn't say 40 seconds. I said 30 seconds. In my 30 seconds, what will you say?
I think we should have more education. I think education should be broken down to the different levels, different culture, for understanding. You understand, you know? And thank God with technology now and social media, people are beginning to see that change will come, but it's going to take a while.
Does my grandmother know how to use
No, but at least when you go on to see her,
my
you
mom,
will
I
tell her,
don't think my mom know what Facebook is.
That's why they'll marry. The man will marry Taiwan.
No, my
This one
mom-
can't born. This one will born.
No, yes, but the woman who is the one suffering.
no, but
Okay,
when you
okay.
visit her to say, Grandma, welcome, and you have a conversation with her, you will discuss something that was on
Say
social
IVF
media
beginning.
without.
You
You will have the conversation with her. It doesn't necessarily mean that she has to have the iPad.
Amaechi, like I said all the time, guys, if you want to be part of our panel, there is always an extra seat. And if you have any comments and anything at all you want to contribute to this conversation, just leave it on the bottom of it as usual. Until next time, guys. Bye. I've never laughed so bad in my life.